d'aller et venir comme je voulais. Quand je sortais du boulot le vendredi soir ou bien le jour off parce que j'étais dans un centre d'appel, le call center, je pouvais passer 2 jours en boîte de nuit et revenir le lendemain travailler et puis je m'en foutais loyalement. Et puis soudainement, il y a ce changement qui intervient dans ma vie. Je me retrouve épouse et 1 an et demi plus tard, maman. Si psychologiquement, je n'ai pas bénéficié d'un accompagnement de la société, les parents, la famille, les amis un peu, mais beaucoup plus la famille, et particulièrement de votre conjoint ou de votre compagnon, c'est là les premiers échecs vont survenir, les premières crises, la dépression peut s'en suivre, et c'est tout à fait légitime. On s'oublie très souvent quand ça arrive, on n'arrive plus à prendre soin même de soi, corporellement parlant, et puis 2, 3, 4, 5 ans après, on se retrouve soit dans des régimes drastiques ou dans des cures qui n'en finissent pas. Je ne parlerai pas à sa place, elle vous dira combien de femmes elle reçoit dans cet état. Ou à défaut, on tombe dans un état dépressif, on fonce sous l'alcool, la cigarette et tous les travers de la société que vous pouvez imaginer. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? J'ai aimé son discours, elle a terminé en disant « Je cherche ma cousine à Bayangam ». Et puis, je la fais venir. Sauf que de nos jours, je ne sais pas combien vous êtes dans cet état, dans cette situation dans la salle, sauf que de nos jours, ces cousines n'existent plus. C'est vrai ou c'est faux? Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Les nounous sont devenus de vrais touristes. Parce que même de mon temps, à l'époque, on allait recruter des filles ailleurs, dans les petits villages, pour nous accompagner. Aujourd'hui, on n'en trouve plus. Du coup, on se verse dans les garderies parce qu'on croit que c'est la solution. Excusez-moi, c'est un modèle importé qui ne colle pas trop à notre contexte africain parce que là, c'est le parent qui se désengage de l'éducation de son enfant et sous-traite. Ce n'est pas toujours bien, l'enfant devient un étranger pour vous. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Il faut faire la part belle à ce qui est utile et important. Pour mon cas, j'ai mis ma carrière entre parenthèses. Et ça, je peux le dire, je ne sais pas s'il y a dans la salle des personnes de la première société, d'Orange, qui était mon premier employeur, ils s'en souviendront. J'ai mis ma carrière entre parenthèses pendant près de 8 ans, parce que je faisais les bébés. Et il fallait leur donner le minimum vital pour s'assurer que chaque enfant était en mesure d'ouvrir le frigidaire, de prendre une pomme, de se servir de l'eau à boire, de prendre soin de son hygiène corporelle. Après les 7 années, j'ai dit à mon époux, écoute, je n'étais pas faite pour ce type de vie. Maintenant, mon heure a sonné. Tu t'occupes des enfants désormais beaucoup plus que moi. Et j'essaie de regarder devant moi parce que j'ai plus de 30 ans. Ça passe. Je n'aurai pas 5 opportunités, on n'en a qu'une seule dans la vie. Je m'occupe de ma carrière. Et je peux vous rassurer, les 5 années qui ont suivi, ça a été le déclic dans ma carrière, comme par un coup de baguette magique. Je suis allé de promotion en promotion, de changement d'entreprise en changement d'entreprise, mais je faisais l'effort de rester la maman que j'étais pour mes enfants, en les associant à tous mes choix, c'est très important. En associant mon conjoint à mes choix, même comme avec lui, je peux vous rassurer, c'était une autre grosse paire de manches. Parce qu'à un moment, il dit, « Madame, j'en ai marre. Écoute, ta place, c'est d'abord ici, avant là-bas. » Je lui dis, « Non, j'ai mes aspirations personnelles, j'ai mes aspirations professionnelles. » Bah, écoutez, un jour, je suis allé jusqu'à lui dire, « Tu n'as été qu'un accident sur mon parcours. Et si ça ne t'arrange pas, tu prends le large et je continue. » Bah, je l'ai fait. Ça a créé ce que ça a créé, vous pouvez vous imaginer, c'était comme un tsunami, même dans ma belle famille, ça a créé tellement de... Et puis après, tout le monde s'est dit, bah, écoute, les temps sont en train de changer, la conjoncture est dans, on voit bien qu'elle s'épanouit, et puis l'abrutissement qu'on voyait et tout s'est passé, mais finalement, il a fini par s'assagir. Et mieux, j'ai dû faire un choix à un moment très courageux, de quitter ma famille pour aller m'installer dans une autre ville, et travailler dans un environnement que je ne connaissais pas. C'était un choix vraiment, franchement, très courageux, mais je l'ai fait. Alors, résultat des courses, conclusion, Tout réside dans ton organisation à toi. Je vivais à près de 500 km de mes enfants qui sont restés à Douala, mon époux avec. Et moi, je me trouvais dans la Haute-Sanaga. Je m'organisais toutes les 2 semaines à faire le trajet sur Douala pour 3 jours, pas plus, et à rallier mon lieu de service les lundis, épuisé. Mais il fallait le faire. Il fallait simplement que quelque part je consente un sacrifice. Et le plus intéressant dans cette histoire, ça ne m'a pas empêché de rester coquine, jolie, de m'entretenir. Je ne me suis jamais lassée de me faire belle, parce que oui, il fallait que je m'occupe de la maison ou des enfants. Je ne me suis jamais lassée de rester accrochée et attachée à la valeur qui m'a été inculquée en famille, qui est spirituelle et fortement spirituelle, c'est-à-dire la crainte de Dieu, et de rester fixée en lui disant, écoute, ces choix, tu es en train d'arranger le chemin, montre-moi simplement la voie et tiens-moi la main, parce que humainement, je ne peux pas. Et je peux vous rassurer, c'est passé. Je suis finalement revenue à la faveur peut-être de la crise d'adolescence que mes enfants traversaient. Je me suis dit, ben, écoute, il est temps que tu repenses à revenir en arrière. Donc, pour vous dire, c'est à chaque étape, il faut adapter un comportement, ajuster des méthodes, avoir une approche qui vous permette de rester à la fois équilibré d'un point de vue personnel, professionnel, et rester la personne que vous êtes. Il ne faut pas chercher à changer, il ne faut pas chercher à ressembler à X ou Y. Si oui, on peut s'inspirer d'autres leaders autour de nous. Il y en a tellement. Il faut très souvent regarder les femmes qui inspirent et qui vous ont marqué positivement. Il y en a dans l'histoire du monde. On en connaît des tonnes. Que ce soit Mère Teresa, que ce soit plus proche de nous, Michelle Obama, qui a dû s'éclipser derrière son homme et de dire « je lui laisse la présidence », que ce soit Hillary Clinton, il y en a une tonne. Mais à un moment, il faut savoir qu'est-ce que je veux, comment je peux obtenir ce que je veux, vers où est-ce que je suis en train d'aller, mais pensez d'abord à vous, ensuite à ce qui est important pour vous, parce que c'est de là que viendra votre équilibre, c'est de là que viendra votre bien-être, et votre mindset s'en trouvera davantage au top parce que vous aurez réussi à combiner la juste portion de chaque petit bout de vous, de faire cette division pour pouvoir rester une jeune femme, leader, équilibrée, percutante professionnellement, parce que d'un point de vue professionnel, je suis tellement exigeante vis-à-vis de moi-même. Les femmes de IHS ici qui sont présentes, elles vous diront que celle-là, elle passe le temps en entreprise à tout critiquer, à tout remettre à plat de couture, parce que je suis perfectionniste sur les bords. Et je leur dis souvent, j'aime quand les choses sont faites de manière irréprochable. Parce que pour arriver à la perfection, on traverse des paliers. Et c'est à chaque palier qu'on adapte une solution, une approche, une démarche qui nous permet d'avancer, d'arriver au palier supérieur. Mais rassurez-vous, c'est parsemé d'embûches. So it's not just like you stand on your foot in the morning and you get things as easy as possible, you just move. No, you need to pass through tremendous efforts. You need to pass through difficult situations. But it happens for some people that they just stand on it and it goes straight to the point. Yeah. Not maybe everyone can face those difficulties, but it is very important to let young ladies know that when you come to a failure, first attempt, please don't drop out. Yeah. Keep on pushing until you get the result, depending on what you have in your mindset that this is the final point that I wish I could reach. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. So I'm coming to you, Mesede. How do you strike a balance between the demands of leadership and taking care of your physical and mental health? I want you to share any tips for time management in this regard.
I think I'll piggyback on what Barbara said, and I think Madame Valerie mentioned first thing, you must be organized. You must have a plan, what you want to achieve. The objectives you can achieve, you have to achieve on your own. The objectives you have to achieve with your team. You must communicate these objectives, and the plan has to be time efficient. So it's not only things to do, it's how you want it done, when. Because there are certain actions that will depend on others having been done before. So you take things step by step and you communicate all of that, because I think when it comes to self-care as well, it's managing expectations. Expectations of ourselves, expectations of our team members. And we have to, each person, I believe when you are working in a team, because you are leading a team, there has to be a strong sense of responsibility. My approach is that I believe in empowering my team members. I empower them by listening to them. I make each and every person make sure that they know that you are visible. I see you. I hear what you say. I give you a chance to express what you want. And if you have limitations, when we're talking about time management, I think the other young lady mentioned situations where you have somebody who has a sick child. Tomorrow they are coming with another excuse and all. As we said earlier, even though they have 3 days down, for the remainder of the 2 or 3 days, do they get the job done? Will we still meet our timelines? So if you can't, if you see that instead of 1 day in hospital, you see yourself spending 3, promptly communicate it to your team members, communicate it to me, so that we make the necessary adjustments. I think sometimes our problem is lack of communication. Things don't happen always as we plan, but the whole idea is that because we work as a team, we must communicate efficiently so that we are able to make necessary adjustments, because those adjustments must happen. So, and I need us to be functioning in sync for me to have first part of my self-care, mental stability, that the objectives we set for ourselves are going to be achieved. And then you also have to make people understand. When you say you see them, I need to know you. Yes. I need to be able to, the way I relate, I'm very interpersonal in my leadership style. Yeah. I need to know you, or some people say amiable. Yes. I need to understand. I'll ask you, how are you doing? How's your mom? How's your husband? How are your children? Some people find that offensive. And in my team, I know the people who don't like me getting too close. And I respect that, because I need to know you and learn how to best operate with you so I can get the best out of you. So when you learn those things, you're able to also better know what to assign to who. Not only based on your competencies, but based on your interpersonal capabilities. So those are the things that I try to do to enable better team management in terms of performance, in terms of time, and in terms of general synergy within the team, so that you're not giving, you might be very capable of doing something technically, but you find it difficult in organizing. There's always somebody within the team, they just enjoy making sure they organize meetings, making sure minutes are done. They have that natural tendency, and they really thrive in that. Apart from their normal job, give them that, you will get the best out of them. You who is very analytical, you want to be behind, making sure things are working in the background. If you do that very well, fine and fair, I will give you those kind of things so that you feel in your element and you perform better. And that way you're not struggling. You're not struggling if I give you a task to MC people when I know that you have stage fright. I give you mental shock. So that is not good. So I try to identify that and manage my team along those lines. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Vanessa, I'll come to you. How do you handle situations where self-care needs conflict with work responsibilities or tight deadlines? Any strategies for managing such challenges?
Take this one.
Okay. Thank you, Ashur. There is this opinion leader I admire so much, and I follow her from distance. Whenever I have the opportunity to meet her in person or go close, I do, and I share my views with her. She's the managing director of EcoBank, Mrs. Abuno Gwendolyn. She's been panelist here. She's been panelist at the American Chamber of Commerce, where Zenith Insurance is a member. And what I learned from her was like, if you must be a thriving leader, if you must be a successful leader, you have to build a robust support system, both at work and at home. For those who wish to be moms, whether moms of smaller families or bigger families, you need to get a very robust support system. So some of the strategies I got, or I tried to put in place for myself, and I can say so far it's working for me. That's when I do some intrinsic analysis. I'm a field person. As in, before joining Zenith Insurance, I was market research. So we go to the field, we talk to people, we do group discussions, you moderate, get people's insights, and then do the feedback for the multinationals. So most of the offers you're getting from multinationals were based on the insights we collected from you. So what I normally do is, I don't have time, especially with the 4 babies, to have like personal exercise, physical exercise. By the way, please just indicate with your hand show, who are those who have 15 or 30 minutes before or after work to do physical exercise, like just with a hand show? Okay, you see, well, about 150, but you have like 15 hands up. So it goes in line with what I was saying about self-care being luxury. Nowadays, it's really sort of, we're struggling with it. So what I normally do, given I'm a field person, I'm always on my toes. I'm always on my toes. I hydrate as much. You always have a bottle of water. I make sure to prioritize breakfast. I make sure to prioritize breakfast because it is proven that lunch, dinner, somehow becomes luxury. You don't get to eat on time. You don't get to eat at the time you plan to eat. You have to keep making excuses with friends as in why you cannot turn in on the date. So I make breakfast a priority. Also, I avoid using the elevators all the time. I think if I can do the 2 steps to get to the next level of the office, why not? Because there are ways in which I catch up with physical exercise. So these are some of the ways in which I put a system around my day-to-day activities. You also have Mesoda mentioned empowering teammates. You see, alone you're fast, but as a group you go faster and you go further. So I do as much as possible to empower my teammates. That way you rest, to think, to meditate. There is this young lady who asked the question, how do you manage the challenge of managing older people? I'm only 7 years in insurance, and you know, it's a field that has a lot of negative cliche. So I have a lot of elderly people on my team. I use them as a platform for experience. I use them for consulting. Also, we are in the digital age. I make sure I get them friendly with the AI applications. That you don't have to run in them for them to send in your reports, their reports. You show them little tips and tricks, and they think that they are using it for their, you know, they've been willing to learn these digital techniques. They think it's for their personal use, but you're also empowering them, you know, to be digital savvy, and as a result, they can turn in their reports without you, let's say, putting pressure or aggressing them. So there's some techniques or some strategies I use to navigate. On the weekends, I really cherish weekends. I have a discussion with the 4 kids. My last daughter is 1 year, 9 months. And because of her brothers or sisters, the gap is not very large. She can blah, blah, blah. But I always tell her, Mama, you don't have to blah, blah, blah. You have to try and speak properly because I speak to you properly. I explained to her, Mama, I had this day at work, I did this, and she's like, hey, she giggles. I don't know if the giggling is of her understanding, but it gives me joy, and my mind is like strategies. I get both at work and at home for self-care and to balance things up.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I'm coming to Esther. When was that moment you said, stop, my mental health and well-being first?
Thank you very much. This is a very big question. The moment I said stop was when I realized that I didn't know myself. I didn't know my team, their needs, and it all started by me. I don't know what I want. I don't know what my team wants. So it was I was like struggling. It was a lot of effort for me to lead at that time. It was very heavy, very, very heavy for me. So I'm asking myself questions like, I'm in the well-being, what is happening to me? People, I give a lot of advice. I even practice because I'm an esthetician. So I'm specialized in facial and body treatment. So while doing that, I advise, I don't know, try to help those who are in need. But I don't know why it's so heavy for me to lead. And it's like you are in the water, but yes. So I realized that was about my mindset, was about my mental health. So I have to say, stop. Now I need to know who I am, what I want. For me to lead, I need to know why I am here for. I need to, first of all, understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yes. So I have to stop everything because it was really, really tough for me to lead because women, we are leaders either at home or at work. So we are born leaders, so somehow. So it was quite difficult for me. So once I realized that, I said, let me stop here and see first, because I was complaining about everybody around me. You don't do this, God, why is it that all around me, I just have people who does not understand me? Why is it that I'm not lucky enough to have people? So I realized that it's all about me. It's not all about people around me. It's not about my team or what. So when I realized that, I started being what I'm doing. Because we can be doing something, but you are not in. You are not becoming what you are doing. Like, not say enjoying, but you need to live. People have to see it in you. Yes. So I was doing the first part that was physical. So I don't joke with my body. I have to do my treatment all the time. My esthetician is there listening to me. So I have to do my facial all the time. Make sure I am physically neat, but mentally it was not okay. So I have to now understand that I need to, first of all, love myself, love what I'm doing, and becoming what I'm providing, like service. Like people come to me, they're expecting me to give them something. So if I don't have it, I cannot give it to them. And it's all in the mind. So that was the time I say no. I have to really.
Thank you very much. Ms. Sade, I saw you nodding. Do you have anything to add?
Yes, I just wanted to add that on what she said, most of the time, when we get to that point where we say stop, it's because we have gotten to a point where we've given of ourselves so much that we do not recognize ourselves anymore. And you realize there's nothing else left to give. Then you have to, because that's what happened to me, and then you have to refocus, recalibrate. Why you still have things to achieve? Why have you gotten to this point where you realize there's nothing left, but you still have a long way to go? So I guess that's where you have to start rewiring your thinking and say, okay, you have done, and most of the times when we're done years in service, and then you start thinking, okay, I've earned my time. I have proven myself. Now it's either they give me a new challenge or I say bye-bye. Yes, because you have given in that capacity so much. You have trained so many people, and you're asking yourself, okay, what next? You know, and you also rewire how you give of yourself. You're giving now in a smarter way. That's when you say, because me, everybody who knows me, my nails are always done. Spectra, thank you very much. It's been 12 years of patronage now that I've been going to Spectra. And my colleagues know me. One of my self-care activities is doing my nails. And forgive me, I do them any time of the week, any day. A day that I am doing it in the morning, I come late. But I work it off. I work through my break. A day that I do it for lunch, I take my lunch break. A day that I'm doing in the evening, I close early. I'm unapologetic about it. Because it is my time. I meet Tata Karin, Hobson, and I do my thing. Yes. So, because I do that because I have earned my keep. And that's one thing about leadership. Leadership, your responsibility. You're not proving your technical ability. Yeah. You're proving your ability to make the people you are responsible for, make them realize their dreams. That is your responsibility as a leader. So it's not that, oh, can I do audit or can I do accounts? No. It's to make those people who you are leading, be the chartered accountants, be the whatever that you have to, the communication experts, because that's your responsibility. So I just wanted to ask that we should have those conversations with ourselves more often. What is your stop level? And if you get to that level, what is the realignment that needs to be done? We need to be conscious. So what do you do about it? That's what matters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Barbara, I'm coming to you in a few words, please. Looking back at some of the achievements you've had, we're talking about a moment where you say stop. Why do we say stop? Because of burnout. Looking at some of the achievements, what would you have done differently to avoid being burnt out?
I think it's okay. Personally, I think I've never experienced a burnout situation. So I won't be able to, but from the past, I know I got to a point because I was overwhelmed with work, KPIs and so forth. I just said, Barbara, please stop, take some time, rest, and come back to it. Because if at the next second you fall here, the next minute there will be a public announcement pasted everywhere that we need either a communication, something or whatsoever to replace you. Take care of yourself and forget about work. So it has happened several times with me. That's all what I can say.
Thank you so much. So we are the last question, and I would like to get insights from you all. What advice do you have for women who aspire to leadership roles and focus on cracking the code rather than taking care of themselves? So if you're ready, you can go. Anyone? I'll take it again.
Let me try this.
What advice do you have for women who aspire to leadership roles and focus on cracking the code rather than taking care of themselves? Do you want to go first?
I had wished to ask the question here. For 1, 2, 3 person volunteers, if they could raise their hand and answer the question. Would you crack the code or trust your self-care first position than cracking the code. I wish. Who is behind? I'm seeing a finger. Yes, the lady with the white shirt. Sorry?
I think the answer actually just gave you the right one. Because if you crack and fall immediately, you'll be replaced immediately. Yeah, so it's for you to choose. If you overwork yourself, you put other things first than yourself, and you crack, you fall, or you die immediately, you are going to be replaced. A public announcement is going to be made.
Yeah, we are talking of cracking the codes. Cracking the codes as a rule, or self-care. Which one is more important to you?
To me, self-care, of course.
Self-care, yeah. The other lady with the white, yeah. The microphone is just behind you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think to have a balance is very important because in as much as we want to crack the code, we must make sure that we are okay with ourselves because you can't give what you don't. Okay in an insight before you can give it outside, and it will obviously affect your environment. So
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's it. Can you really crack the code if your self-care doesn't matter to you at first point? Would you be able to succeed in cracking any code if your mindset is not there? Would you be able to make it and reach if you don't take care of you as the leader, you as a human being, first of all, before thinking of breaking the barriers, cracking the codes, and getting to wherever you wish? For me, to end up and to close, I think self-care is like key to reach wherever you wish to. Taking care of yourself, it means taking care of your soul. And if you are not fine with your body, your mind, and your soul, you won't be able to move mountains. And I'm sure all of the women here can move, even one Cameroon, if they take care of, it's very important. Being here is part of self-care, indeed.
Yes.
Self-caring is not only going to the salon and whatsoever. Being here and participate to the corporate women leadership, it's self-caring. Thank you, Adeline.
I want to.
Okay.
Remember, self-care, I want to differentiate this. Self-care, some people misinterpret it as a synonym to selfishness. It's not. Self-care is taking alone. That nothing else matters. The whole world can fall around you. Because we practice, we have to be able to afford to practice self-care. As Vanessa, invest your time, invest your energy for you to get up the ladder. But self-care, it must be afforded. 2, it must be for a purpose. You're replenishing yourself. You have a source to empty as a mother, as an entrepreneur to your workers, as a wife, and all of that. So what I said at the beginning is that when I talked about self-love, we must, as women, I realize that we don't tell these people who are near and dear to us that we need time off. If you tell your 5-year-old son, when you come into the house, they run, jump on your body, they follow you everywhere. If you tell him, Papa, please, Mommy needs 1 hour every 2 days, locked up in her room to do whatever she needs to do. By the time you tell him once, twice, thrice, whoever depends on your energy, if you tell them you need time to do A, B, or C, at the beginning they might protest. But eventually, because they love you so much, because they know that if they don't give you that your 1 hour, you will not get their arrow ready. You will not get their matters to have communicated it to my colleagues and my collaborators over the years. I've had an interesting career because since I came to Cameroon to work, I came on a Monday and I started work on a Tuesday in PwC. So I've always worked in Cameroon, and every when I say I'm interested, like I work in Douala, I live in Limbe. So every Friday, for those first 5 years, every Friday by 6 o'clock, I have a driver in front of my office to take me to Limbe. And they bring me back on Sunday or Monday morning. So with my colleagues, they understood that since my life is not in Douala, I come to Douala only for work. I made sure my Mondays to Fridays were hectic. And it continued. Even when I got married, I commuted Limbe Douala for 8 years every day. I saw all sorts on that road. But my days, I started with early days to avoid traffic. As I earned my time, I got promoted. I earned the respect of my collaborators, senior and junior. I started coming into Douala late. I'll leave Limbe at 8. I'll be here by 9:30. But I leave Douala at about midnight. Because, especially on a Friday, there's no point leaving before 8 o'clock. I'll still get home at 1. So I leave Douala at around midnight, 11:30 midnight. 1 hour, 30 minutes, I'm at home. So I did that I thought I would do it forever. But I got to a point where when I stopped doing it, I earned, my work did not suffer. My clients did not suffer, because I programmed my time around the reality of life. My boss did not have an unexpected expectation, unrealistic expectation of booking me for 7 a.m. meetings, and because after 9 o'clock, you have me in Douala. I'll attend any meeting, anytime after that. And I was still productive. So I was fortunate because I communicated it earlier in my life, in my professional life. So I didn't meet too many hurdles. So we have to think that, we have to know and understand that when you communicate these things and you behave accordingly too, people will respect you and they'll give you, because they want you to thrive. Because you thrive, the company thrives. And that's what they pay you for. So thank you very much.
Oui, tu peux ajouter, Esther.
Thank you so much. Okay, for me, it's self-care first. C'est-à-dire prendre soin de soi d'abord. En fait, nous sommes des leaders et pour être leader, il faut être... Bon, je prends l'exemple des besoins de Maslow, des 5 besoins. Et pour mieux mener, je dois atteindre le niveau le niveau de réalisation. C'est ce niveau que je dois avoir. On est d'accord? Oui. Parce que si je suis encore au niveau primaire, où j'ai encore des besoins primaires ou physiologiques, et j'ai des gens que je mène qui sont aussi à ce niveau, ça ne va pas marcher. J'ai gravi tous les autres niveaux, tous les autres besoins. Je suppose qu'en tant que leader, je les ai déjà traversés. J'ai traversé toutes ces étapes et je suis au niveau de l'accomplissement. Et je dois donc mener les autres, je dois les amener à ce niveau. Et pourquoi prendre soin de moi intervient? Parce que ça me permet en fait d'atteindre ce niveau. Je prends le temps pour moi, mentalement je suis OK, physiquement je suis OK et spirituellement je suis OK. Et là, ça me permet de rester, parce que je peux arriver à ce niveau. Et moi, prendre soin de moi, de mon bien-être, me permet de maintenir cet état d'esprit. Parce que j'ai besoin de ça pour amener les autres. Je dois comprendre chacun à son niveau de besoin. Voilà. Donc, c'est ça un peu ce que je fais. Donc, j'essaye de prendre soin de moi à chaque fois. Je sais que je suis seule. Je sais que je communique avec le moi. Je communique avec la substance vivante qui est en moi. Et j'ai tout ce qu'il faut pour pouvoir inspirer, créer. Et puis, on va vous donner un peu de temps. Il faut forcer, il faut pouvoir s'organiser. Moi, ce que je fais, surtout à la maison, j'ai le petit coin, vous savez, tout le monde respecte, même les bébés. Quand mon fils m'appelle maman, je dis je suis aux toilettes. Quand je dis ça, là, il fait demi-tour. Il fait demi-tour. Tout le monde respecte ce moment-là. Je ne sais pas pourquoi. Et là, peu importe ce que je fais là-dedans, c'est un moment, même si c'est 5 minutes ou 10 minutes, c'est un moment pour moi de me ressourcer. Parce que j'ai besoin de me renouveler, j'ai besoin de recharger mon énergie tout le temps. Et le bien-être n'est pas forcément être en train de faire un soin de visage, ou alors de faire une activité sportive, ou alors, je ne sais pas, de faire un massage, mais c'est aussi de rester calme, dans un endroit vraiment très très calme, sans rien faire, sans téléphone, se ressourcer, se recharger, parce qu'on t'attend là, le résultat, on t'attend, donc c'est un peu ce que
Vanessa, any last words on this?
Charity begins at home. Home is where there is peace. Home is where there is smiles and everything beautiful. I would say self-care first, of course, first. And to ensure that we as ladies, my dear sisters, aunties, mothers, for those of us who are aspiring to be married, please let us do this homework diligently. Choose that partner who is going to support your dreams. Let's not be in a hurry.
And the partner should be rich.
Let's not be in a hurry because of family, external pressure, age, because you get yourself all messed up at the end of the day. You cannot be productive at home and you cannot be productive in the office. So I would say choosing your partner is one key factor to self-care. I have a spouse, fortunately, as my sisters as well. Vanessa, you took the last good man on earth, and I'm like, no, I do not. Just open your eyes and pray more. There are a lot of them. My husband, Reagan, is sometimes a few match made in heaven. He knows the battles like from scratch, and there is this telepathy. Why am I convinced it's a match? Because there is this telepathy. Anytime I'm going through a situation at work and I'm going to take a decision or I'm going to utter a word to a colleague, you see, incoming call, my lovely husband. And he's just like, thank you. He's just like, Sherry, what's up? What's your day? What have you had as lunch? And I'm like, okay, sometimes you want to delve into what's boiling, and sometimes you're like, no, I'm not sharing. And then just that fact of communicating with him, you have that time to cool down, and you say the best words to your colleague. You say the best words to empower them. So I'd say choosing your life partner is key to self-care. Thank you, Sherry, for being here. He's right there.
This is an encouragement for us who are single to choose rightly. We've been hearing so much today from husbands that are so supportive to Kathleen telling us to choose rightly as well. Either he's rich or he's comfortable spending your money. Very important. So, ladies, we've come to the end of this discussion. Right now, we're going into a question and answer session. I know there's a lot. We have so much in mind, but because of time, we're going to be taking just 2 questions. I know it's a tough one. Just 2 questions. So I think this is my moment to choose. So I'm the star right now. Look at me if you want me to choose you. So just 2 hands up. So I'm going with the 2 ladies. So I'll start with the lady over there. Okay, sorry. You have the mic over here already.
For the summit, I've been learning a lot since morning. I'm Vera, a career starter in a Big 4. I'd like to ask this question. We've been talking about bringing in the energy, leading the way, and cracking the leadership code. How do you do all of these when you're just an executor in the team? You're just maybe down there. How do you crack the leadership code when you're not yet in leadership?
Yeah, the first thing you must know is that you don't start a career at the leadership position. Yeah. You won't succeed. You can start at a middle leadership position and succeed. But top leader position, you won't be able to make it. Because you have to manage people in the underlayer without knowing exactly what is ongoing there, what they can pass through, what is their mindset, what are their difficulties, and what may happen that maybe you may not even know what their job is all about. Because being a leader or being a manager doesn't mean you know everything as compared to your peers or your teammates. No. For me, the best thing for a leader, and it is from that process that you learn, because when you start at a junior position, you grow up. That's what I was saying, climbing one step after the other. You learn, you may fall, you may stand, and then succeed at the end. So, in your journey, in that path, you have so many learnings, you have so many things that will help you and equip you to become the best manager. Because I strongly believe a leader can be inborn in you, but you just need to be at the right place at the right time for that leadership to arise. So that's my...
Vanessa wants to add something.
Yes, my dear sister, you know, just two things. I would say it's even an advantage that you're at the junior level, so be of service. Don't say, no, they're sending me too much, or just be yourself, make yourself available. You know, those people barely have time. All this thing is about time to take care of yourself, you have time. And the more available you are, the more you're going to be used. The more you're being used, the more you have experience. Second thing, do not take rejection personal. You're at the bottom and you have the bright ideas, you think that but you don't have the global vision, the global picture of the company. So, put in your ideas, but do not take the no's personally. Just keep trying, and eventually no's become yes. Yeah. So those are my two words for you.
Can I add? Oh, okay. I want to add something about Vera, what you said about being. As we said, leadership is based on the context too. Because you can be at the bottom there because you are serviceable, as Vanessa says, you are available. You might just be a leading person amongst your peers. So one thing, I don't like to talk about leadership without using one word: humility. You cannot be of any use to yourself or anybody if you don't learn a humble spirit. Because humility opens doors you would never imagine. So you need to be any opportunity. What we are looking for is opportunities, learning opportunities, opportunities to be present, opportunities to be seen, not for the sake of show, but to be seen so that people can see your potential. And your potential should be substantive within your given capacity. They don't ask, if I ask you, like, I think, who mentioned taking that they were being taken to, I think one of the last speakers, to meetings. I think it's Linda, yes. And in those meetings, they saw her always available with her boss. She was not supposed to speak, she was not speaking at the meeting, but in her ability, taking notes and analyzing them, producing them in a way that her boss could use, that's how she started shining. So, be serviceable, look for an opportunity for you to be, I don't like using it, but for lack of a better word, to be used by those that you serve to show and demonstrate your potential. So you can only do that well if you have a spirit of humility. Your time will come. Truly, this leadership thing is not easy. It's not about shining, or it's just about being of use, making your position, using it as an opportunity to impact others and help others realize their potential. So humility is key in leadership, and you can start learning and flexing that humility muscle from when you're at the beginner level. That's how, as you grow, you realize that you have your war scars that grow with you, so that tomorrow you will be on this panel telling your stories and inspiring others, or telling others there's hope. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, Esther has something to add.
Okay, so thank you so much. So what I want to add is the preparation. All what they were saying is about the preparation. The stage where you are now is the kind of school, the kind of preparation. Unless you don't know what you want and what you want to become. You want to become a leader, just start knowing that where you are now is a kind of preparation for you to get where you want to be. But if you don't know where you are going, you you will complain. You will be like, no, you will not even see. Because what we call chance is when the opportunity, the preparation meets the opportunity. Yes. But most of the time, the opportunity will be there, but the preparation is not there. So the preparation is the service. The service, as she was talking about. Service, service, service. Don't get tired. You are learning. Learning, don't be like, no, I'm doing too much. I'm the one who is doing all the work, all this, that. No, don't complain. Just know that is the preparation. God is preparing you. Let me say that. God is preparing you for another level.
Thank you so much. So, last question.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I really want to thank all our panelists for all the wonderful talks they have given us. I have heard a lot. I've taken down a lot of notes. And we have spoken about burnout and how to avoid burnout. I heard Madam Barbara saying that she has experienced burnout, but I haven't heard about how to manage burnout and how to, like, if you are experiencing burnout, how to get out of it.
I'm sorry, I said I've never experienced.
Never. Sorry,
Yeah,
I heard
I'm
that
sorry.
you
So